Hello, and welcome to Crack Your Science course. This workshop is presented by the College of DuPage Tutoring Services. I'm Leah, a professional tutor.
And I'm Jane, another professional tutor. The goal of this workshop is to better prepare you for your upcoming science course. We're going to start this workshop off with a review of good academic habits to foster your success as a science student. A question you need to consider when committing to a class is how much time you should spend studying outside of class. I ask my students this question every term, and many times I hear, a few hours, to which I answer with, you should expect to spend 3 to 4 hours outside of class per credit hour. Most courses that include a laboratory are 4 or 5 credit hours, resulting in a range of 12 to 20 hours that need to be spent outside of class. Of course, there's some wiggle room with this rule, but it generally will hold true for all science courses. Maybe you're particularly strong in this subject. You've taken a similar course semi-recently that shaves off maybe 1 or 2 hours a week. On the flip side, maybe you know that this is a subject you're not strong in. You may find yourself needing more than that upper range of 20 hours. You will find what works best for you. These hours are a catch-all for any activity related to your course, other than time spent in class or in lab. This includes time to complete assignments, reading, working on projects, and preparing for exams. You are better off overestimating time necessary for your studies than underestimating to ensure you don't fall behind.
Have you ever bought the required $200 textbook but didn't use it? Even if you don't have assigned readings from the book, it will benefit you to read it. Sometimes professors will say that they don't require you to buy a textbook, but if you find yourself wanting to read up on a topic prior to class, look for open source texts or try places like half-price books for older copies. The library may also have older editions available for checkout. Even if the textbook is not the edition used at the college or even written by the same authors, it still contains valuable information. Why use a textbook when you constantly have the internet available at the tips of your fingers? Well, textbooks can provide key terms and concepts with context to your course that search engines may not provide. Also be wary with internet sources. With a textbook, you can trust what you read. To get a better idea of what will be covered in your lecture and to take an active role in learning, we recommend priming your textbook. Priming is a fancy way of saying reading your textbook before you come to class. Open up the chapter and ask yourself, what are some areas of interest on this first page? Note if there is a key concepts area and an overview section. Key concepts or learning objectives will give you a brief overview of what you'll cover in the chapter. Use these to guide your readings. After reading the section, make sure you can answer any concept check questions. While reading, a good rule of thumb is to pay attention to diagrams. Do not over-highlight. Use the summary at the end of chapters if you are unsure of the most important information. Something I personally have found useful is lightly underlining what I think is important in pencil and then going back to see what I underlined and highlighting the most important aspects. When you are in a class that uses a lot of equations, such as physics or chemistry, the textbook is handy since it will define the variables in each equation and provide the values for the relevant constants. If you happen to miss a class or did not mark down the variables in your lecture notes, the textbook will clear up those equations for you. In addition, textbooks provide reference values. This is especially useful in chemistry classes. Values from the internet may or may not be correct or may be rounded differently than what needs to be used in your homework. If your professor does not give you a list of reference values, it is better to use those provided in the textbook.
An important but overlooked question that every successful student should consider is, what does self-advocacy mean to you? As a college science student, it is your responsibility to create an open line of communication between your professor and yourself. Simply introduce yourself at the beginning of the semester, before or after class. Take advantage of a professor's office hours if your schedule allows. Office hours are an ideal place for you and the professor to get to know each other better. Review exams, discuss your grades, and get extra clarification during office hours. If your professor doesn't have office hours, check your syllabus to find the best way to contact them. Professors are more inclined to write letters of recommendation when they personally know a student. Get to know your peers, introduce yourself the first week of classes, exchange numbers if you're comfortable. Collaborative learning with your peers can be a great way to check your knowledge and prepare for exams. It is important to remain independent of your peers to a degree because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own work and grade. Self-advocacy includes using your best judgment when using internet sources. Check the internet material against what is covered in your lecture or textbook, and always check with your professor to see what sources they allow. For example, many professors will not allow Wikipedia as a cited source. And finally, it's okay to not know everything. Seek out help if you're struggling. Come to the Learning Commons where you can get some extra help from a tutor. Now we're going to switch gears and get into some specific tips that will help you in biology. Resource and time management starts day one. You'll find yourself quickly accruing a lot of notes and other assignments. A binder with dividers can help you organize. You can use dividers to create sections for each unit, topic, or chapter and keep any applicable material within that section so you can easily find it when you're studying for an exam or final. Finding the right note-taking strategy will allow you to create notes that you'll actually use in the future. Printing out PowerPoints provided by your professor or textbook can help you focus on the additional information provided during lecture rather than trying to get the key points down. Many students are partial to typing their notes these days, which is efficient and paper-free. One drawback of typing is that you can be distracted by the internet. Try disconnecting from Wi-Fi during lecture so you can focus solely on your notes. Many students still enjoy the tactile experience of note-taking on paper, which has been proven to help you retain information. Handwriting your own notes is the age-old standard which allows you freedom and organization, but many students find themselves rushed during lecture to get down information or even falling behind. Setting aside small chunks of time daily to work on your course will help you consistently review and not feel overwhelmed when an assessment rolls around. Using a planner, whether it be paper or digital, can help you stay on top of your workload. If you aren't sure where in your week you have time to study, consider using a 24/7 planner so you can visualize open times during your normal week. Lectures where the majority of content will be presented. Every professor's style differs, so you may find yourself adjusting to a note-taking style or organizational plan you started to make it work. Your note-taking plan will help you focus on the content of lecture. It's important to get clarification sooner than later. You don't want foundational concepts to start backlogging. Ask questions in class. Chances are someone else is thinking the same thing and will appreciate you asking. Asking questions also shows the professor that you're actively engaged in lecture. We discussed priming in the study skills section of the workshop, so feel free to go back to that and review those concepts to better prepare yourself for lecture. Sitting in front will put you in an environment where you're more apt to pay attention to the lecture rather than check your phone or surf the web. If you know you're easily distracted, try sitting in front. Studying for exams is best accomplished over extended periods of time rather than cramming a few days before. Utilize any supplemental material your professor provides, such as an outline or study guides. You and your peers can quiz each other from these materials. During your study sessions, consider utilizing the Pomodoro method. Set a timer for 25 minutes to give your undivided attention to a task. Then when the 25 minutes are up, set another timer for 5 minutes as a break period. You can watch some YouTube, check your phone, get a snack during your break, and then start another 25-minute work period after your 5-minute timer is up. After 3 or 4 work periods, give yourself an extended break of 20 to 30 minutes. Breaking up your study sessions will give your brain a chance to process the information you're studying, preventing mental fatigue. You will find your study sessions going better when you can easily navigate your materials that we discussed with resource and time management. As you condense your notes, you may find yourself looking up definitions and re-examining diagrams. This is where a lot of learning happens. You can work on creating your own study guides for yourself by condensing notes and coming up with your own questions. When you feel like you have a solid foundation, start studying with peers. Taking advantage of your laboratory time is important. It's your opportunity for tactile experimentation. Documenting your steps and thought process during lab will make writing a lab report easier. Make sure you do your part during lab, which includes not letting a bossy lab partner do everything or letting a timid lab partner do nothing. Don't be afraid to ask your lab partners to demonstrate their portion of a lab for you. Or better yet, you can lead by example and offer to demonstrate your tasks to your lab partners. Lab can sometimes be intimidating. If you're unsure of anything, always ask your professor for guidance. Lab reports should be started at minimum the day you complete the lab, while the experience and information are fresh in your mind. Many laboratories have some practical assessment to them, which may include a lot of memorization. I recommend creating unlabeled copies of any key diagrams and using a sheet protector and dry erase marker to practice labeling it until you can label all parts from memory. Memorization takes time to build, so don't get frustrated if you don't get it at first. To recap the resources you have available to you, you have your textbook, lab manual, your peers, your professor, and the internet. Included are some popular internet resources. Bozeman Science provides very thorough videos reviewing a wide variety of biological concepts. Crash course videos are fun and engaging with a lot of visual aids that also cover a wide variety of biological concepts. Microbugs is a lab resource for microbiology from Austin Community College. You can find this website simply by searching microbugs with a Z.
Other resources included with your College of DuPage tuition are access to tutoring services and the Learning Commons. Tutoring Services offers different modes of academic support. This includes appointment-based tutoring, where students can schedule one-time or standing appointments. Students can receive up to 3 50-minute sessions per week. Each session can accommodate up to 3 students in the same subject, meaning you can sign up with your peers. To request tutoring, students must fill out the tutoring request form on the College of DuPage's Tutoring Services webpage. Drop-in tutoring is available in a variety of subjects during the fall and spring terms. No appointment is necessary, and you can attend as much as you like during the available hours. It is generally available multiple times a week in each subject offered. Strategic Success Sessions are appointments available when a tutor is not available in your requested subject. Strategic Success Sessions are focused on organization and other critical skills where the tutor cooperatively learns with the student. At Math Assistance, you can receive help in your math or physics class in 15-minute increments. While you may need to wait your turn during busy times, you have an unlimited number of times in which you can have a 15-minute slot. Writing, reading, speech assistance, known as WRSA, can help you with lab reports or presentations. Good luck with your science course.